tutorial, I'm going to go over a couple basic things. First, how to move files from your SD card onto the computer. Second, how to rename them. Third, how to upload them into Photoshop and crop them. I'll go over the basic ways to crop, and then saving your images back to your desktop. So first thing you need to do is insert your SD card. On the right hand side it will pop up. It will probably also bring up your Photos app. If it brings up your Photos app, you just scroll down to the bottom. That will be your most recent photos, the photos that hopefully you are taking. I've already selected my images, but anyway, you'll just check off all the ones you want to import. Then up at the top, you click Import your selected images. Once they've been successfully imported, you're going to select those images, drag them over to your desktop, and let go. Once your images are successfully imported, you can close out of the Photos app, right-click above the thumbnail of the SD card, then go to Eject. That will make it so that you can safely remove the SD card without possibly ruining photos. It's important for you to immediately remove the SD card and return it to the camera. Sometimes students forget to do that, and then a camera is left without their SD card. So remove that SD card, put it back into the camera, then return the camera, the battery to that camera, and your hall pass, anything that you were using today. Now I want to rename each of these files according to the assignment that we were given. So this one, I click it, wait a second, click it again, and then I can rename it. Another way of doing this is when you're above the number, right-click, go down to Rename. Once I've renamed them, I need to open them up into Photoshop. Photoshop will most likely be down here on your dock. If it's not there, you can go to Launchpad and find it in this area. Once you see it, click and drag that app down over to your dock. We want to move these images into Photoshop. First we go to File, Open, select our desktop because that's where these images are. Select those images and click Open. This will open up each of those images on a separate tab. I've already got the crop tool selected, but if it's not selected, on the left hand side, this little box area, that's your crop tool. If you want to do a specific ratio, you can choose 5:7 or whatever the ratio is. Cool thing about the ratio, if you're printing a 5:7 image, you can, no matter how large you do it or what you do to change the crop, it's always going to be 5:7. Let's say you don't want to do 5:7, or maybe you want it to be landscape. You can click these two arrows and it changes it to a landscape crop. But let's say we don't want to do a 5:7 crop. We want to do something original, so we'll click Ratio. We'll delete the numbers here. Now when I go over this image, I can change it to be skinny or fat, no matter what. It's going to stay whatever ratio I choose. Another cool feature about the cropping button is, let's say we want to move this so that it's lined up with these stairs. I can click the Straighten tool, click on one edge of the stairs, click on the other edge and let go, and it automatically rotates my image to be parallel with those stairs. If that's the crop I want, I'll press Enter, and it's finalized, but this is not what I want. The goal of this one is to show spacing. So I'm going to undo this crop. You can undo anything by pressing Command Z. If you have to undo multiple things, hold down Command Option Z. I'm going to leave it about the same size, however, I want to straighten. I'm going to move the dog. I'm going to move the image slightly. Move the image slightly so that the dog is using the rule of I'm using the rule of thirds. Press Enter. Alright, got that image cropped and ready. I'll continue cropping my other images. Once you're done cropping and editing your images, then you're going to save them each with that same file name. You do this by going File, Save As, or you can press Command-Shift-S. Make sure it's labeled that, save it to your desktop. I'm going to click and make sure the format is a JPEG format. You don't want it to be a TIFF or a Photoshop file. Click Save. It's saying, do I want to replace the current one there? Since this one is cropped and edited, I'll click Replace and OK. Then I can close out of that. My next image, Command-Shift-S. Simplicity, saved as a JPEG format, save. Last file, Command-Shift-S, JPEG, row of thirds, save. Now that I have my images edited and named on my desktop, I want to submit them as an assignment. You will click on Rules of Photography for the assignment. Click Submit Assignment. I need to submit one photo demonstrating the rule of thirds. So choose File, go to my desktop, Rule of Thirds photo, open. Then I want to add multiple files. So I click Add File. I need to submit one photo demonstrating spacing. And I need another demonstrating simplicity. I also should have one file of my completed worksheet. I forgot to do that for this example, but just know you should have another file of your completed worksheet, which will be a photograph of it. Click Submit Assignment. And then this will say that it's turned in on the top right side.